9 Wealthiest Men in the Bible. 9. Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus was the chief tax collector of Jericho. This position made him both wealthy and powerful. Jericho was the center of balsam trade. This was a very lucrative industry, making Zacchaeus a millionaire. Tax collectors were despised by the Jews at the time. They were seen as traitors who worked for the Romans. But Zacchaeus gave away half of his wealth after hearing Jesus preach. 8. Boaz. Boaz was a wealthy man from Bethlehem. He owned many farmlands. He employed numerous workers to cultivate the land. Boaz married Ruth, a foreigner from Moab. He noticed she was poor, but didn't say anything. Instead, he invited her to eat with him and his workers. He left grain for her family as well. They had a son named Obed, the great-grandfather of King David. Boaz is described as very generous. 7. Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar inherited the throne of Babylonia and Egypt. This land was known for its riches. His rule was marked by a period of peace and prosperity. This helped Nebuchadnezzar amass an enormous fortune. His wealth included vast stocks of gold and silver. He also owned livestock and slaves. Nebuchadnezzar built magnificent structures. He created one of the 7 wonders of the world, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. 6. Isaac. Isaac inherited wealth from his father, Abraham. He multiplied it by expanding the farm. Isaac owned thousands of flocks, herds, and many servants. He cultivated and harvested 100 times more than the other farmers. The Philistines were envious of his wealth. 5. Joseph. Joseph, son of Jacob, was sold into slavery by his brothers, but he eventually became the vizier of Egypt. He was able to provide his family with Egyptian transport wagons. He also gave them new garments, silver, and 20 donkeys laden with provisions. In today's money, Joseph would have been a billionaire. 4. David. David, a former shepherd boy, became the king of Israel and Judah. He was known for his military conquests. This brought him enormous wealth. King David's net worth was at least $212 billion. He mined gold from Ophir. The gold he donated for the temple was worth $210 billion. The silver would be worth another $1.65 billion today. 3. Abraham. Abraham's wealth came from farm animals. The Bible doesn't provide specific numbers, but it does mention that he owned cattle, silver, and gold. God continued to bless Abraham with riches as his faith was strong. Abraham became the father of the Israelite nation. 2. Job. Job was a God-fearing man from the land of Uz. According to the Bible, he had many servants. He also owned 3,000 camels, 7,000 sheep, 500 oxen, and 500 she-asses. Job lost everything as a test of his faith, but God gave him double of what he had before. 1. King Solomon. Solomon was the son of David. He built the famous Temple of Jerusalem. Solomon was primarily known for his wisdom, but he was also a king, so he owned everything in the land. King Solomon reigned from 970 BC to 931 BC. He received about 25 tons of gold for each of the 39 years. That's equivalent to about $62.7 billion. But his peak net worth was estimated at $2 trillion.